In today's video, I'm doing a bone-in smoked prime rib on a pellet grill. Hey, this is Ricer from Dead Broke Barbecue, Wisconsin, and welcome back to the channel. But if you're new here, we try to help you enhance and amplify your backyard barbecue fun. Now, this prime rib could be one of the best that I've ever done. Now, I had to cheat. I used my GrillGun and blast furnace it just to get that perfect, nice, seared, crispy crust. But we've all heard it before, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, and I don't care because this piece of prime turned out perfect. So grab your pellet grill and a flamethrower. We're gonna amplify some backyard barbecue fun. I got around a 10-pound beef bone-in standing rib roast. Now I cut and trimmed this out of a full packer. I went ahead and cut back the bone a bit and trussed it up, then salt brined it and threw it in the refrigerator for 24 hours. Now, obviously everybody has a different term for throwing some salt on it, but your main purpose is just to go ahead and get that salt to penetrate, and I'm telling you, it gives it a lot more flavor. Now, I took it out of the fridge about an hour ago and just set it out here on the cutting board, letting it start to air a little bit. Today for the seasoning, I'm using some multi-tool and some chop shop from PS Seasonings. It's a thick and coarse rub, and it's gonna give us a nice crust on the outside of this prime rib. We'll just go ahead and start off with the multi-tool first. There's a little bit of salt and onion and garlic and some pepper in this. Now, I'm not putting any binder on it, and you can go ahead and cover it up with some olive oil if you want, but typically if I just go ahead and pat this in, it'll stick. Now we're gonna wanna get our sides, obviously, even at this end over here. Don't be afraid to put a little bit on the bone. Right by the spinalis is a must. You wanna make sure you're getting this covered up. Moving around a 10-pound chunk of meat isn't the easiest with one hand. All right, so there's our multi-tool. Now the last one that I'm using is the chop shop, and that has some garlic, pepper, and some herbs in it. You always gotta have a little bit of herbs on a prime rib. Same thing, just kind of roller. Gotta get some more on this spinalis though, oops. Missed a spot. This is right on the edge of the spinalis, and I'm telling you, you gotta have that covered up. Now I will pull out the wire rack and dump all this excess seasoning, because at the end I'll scrape out the fond in this pan and make up just a little au jus. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually film that part because we do have guests coming over today to enjoy this prime rib. But I'll link one of my favorite prime rib videos that I've ever watched, and it is from Russ Jones, and it's a classic. It's got over 2 million views, so I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, because I'm also gonna be making some horsey sauce. That's what we call it. It's actually horseradish sauce, and it's really good, and it goes great on prime rib. And Russ also does a good horseradish sauce for prime rib in that video. Thanks, Russ, for doing all the work for me. You're making it easier. All I gotta do is refer to your video. Maybe I don't even have to cook it. All right, while this sets and sweats, I'll meet you out by the Smoke Daddy 1190 pellet grill. Let's get the Smoke Daddy 1190 fired up. Turn the power on. We're gonna hit it to smoke, and we're gonna run this at 225 degrees today. Now I'm gonna open up the lid, and then we're gonna let all that white smoke out of it, and then once it starts burning clean, I'm gonna preheat the 1190, and then we'll go ahead and put in this prime rib. This is the white smoke I was talking about, and you wanna make sure that that gets out of the chamber, because that's just gonna leave a yicky taste on the outside of this prime rib. Actually do it on every single cook that you ever do on this. Make sure you get rid of that crap. All right, that afterburner is kicked in and it's burning clean. Let's close up the lid, and we're gonna just preheat this for about 10 minutes. The Pellet Pro is closing in on that 225 degrees. Let's go ahead and get this prime rib cooking. Just open up the lid, and we'll grab this big hunk of beef. Set it just off the center. The fire pot's right here, and I want to keep this back a little bit from it. I'm actually just going to slide it over a couple more inches, because I want this to slow roast. I don't want this to accelerate and go fast through the cook, because it will get more tender the lower temps and the longer you cook it at. And when it comes to prime rib, you want it tender. And now I'm gonna set a timer for 1 hour, and then we'll come back out and hook up some probes to our signals. All right, my 1 hour timer went off. Let's go ahead and get some of these probes into that prime rib. But first, let's go ahead and turn our signals on. We'll plug in this first one. Now you're gonna wanna make sure that you're getting your probe pretty much in center. We're gonna pull the pan out here a little bit so we can see, but I wanna get this, and I always measure, yeah, that looks about to be the center right here. So then you're gonna wanna pinch it off to about where your center point is, and then just insert it right down the middle. Turn this a little bit, and obviously on this side, well, we get a little bit closer, a little thinner, but this will still give us a good reading. Take my next probe, plug that in. Now with this probe, I'm actually just gonna try to get another reading, and I'm looking to shoot right about through there. That's just so we have 2 measuring points. That's it. Just stick her right about there. That'll be good. Then I'm gonna close up the lid and set a timer for another hour. I'm just gonna keep on monitoring them temperatures. Now I'm gonna bring this prime rib up to 120 degrees internal, and then I'm gonna sear it off with my sear gun. I've seen other people do it, and I thought, why not? I have one, let's give it a try. Now if you don't have a grill gun or a Searzall or something like that, what you can do is just bring this prime rib up to 115 degrees, pull it out, preheat the whole cooker to maximum, whatever as high as you can get, and then put it back in and finish it off to about 125, because it is gonna carry over another 10 degrees for sure. And if you're looking for that medium rare in the center, you're gonna wanna pull it at 125 degrees. But I'm gonna use my grill gun today and play with a little live fire for that sear. So I'll come back to you in a couple hours and give you kind of a quick little update and let you know where our temperatures are sitting then. Right now, my internal temperatures are right around 50 degrees on both probes. I'm a little over 4 hours into this cook, and I've been rotating that prime rib 180 degrees on the hour. I'm thinking that this is gonna be the last time that I'm gonna actually rotate it, because we're coming in at about 113 degrees right now. Start turning it, get it turned end for end. But she's looking good. We're getting a nice smoky color. Now I'm gonna set a timer for just about a half an hour, because again, I'm pulling this off at 120 degrees, and then we're gonna sear it up using the grill gun. I don't wanna overshoot this prime rib. I wanna make sure that I pull it when it's at 120 degrees, because it is gonna carry over anywhere from 10 to 12 degrees, and we wanna make sure that we have this at that good prime rib medium rare. So it's been exactly 5 hours on this cook, and I'm gonna split the difference on the temperatures. One of them says 121 and the other probe says 117. Now that's in the center, but if you take your thermal pen or one of your other meat probes and check on the outsides, you're probably pushing right around that 130 degrees. So we wanna get this thing seared up. So all we have to do is go ahead and shut the power off, and we're gonna open up the lid and we'll just take a quick little look at it. She's looking nice, but let's get these probes out of there. Get both of these out, we don't need them anymore. And let's go ahead and take a look at this side also. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. We've got some really good smoke color on it. Perfect. Now I decided that I'm gonna go ahead and use my grill gun right in the Pellet Pro 1190. This could be interesting, but I don't wanna have to set up another cooker just to sear up this prime rib. We're just gonna hit it with a little bit of heat on the outside to give us that better looking crust. I got the prime rib adjusted in the 1190. Let's go ahead and have some fun.
She is on a mission, move aside and give her space. With fists high in the air, victorious she overcomes. From hills down to the valleys, from the tops down to the slums. Anywhere she's ever been, she's always there to win. If you find her quiet, then look out, she's turned within because
Wow, this is a blast. Now I'm gonna just flip it over and finish it up. Just like this. Now we can get the backside. Especially want to get on that fat glob right there. Everybody likes a little crispy fat. Now let's just turn her. We'll get this last little part right here. Oh yeah. That looks good. That was a lot of fun. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this prime rib out, and then we're gonna let it rest for about 30 minutes, and we're gonna see you at the cutting board. This prime rib is rested for a half an hour. I'm starving and it looks awesome. Let's go ahead and cut off this butcher twine and then remove these ribs and cut up a slice. Right in here and cut them off. Peel them back gently. You don't want to lose all this crust that you went ahead and worked so hard for. Now, if you don't have yourself a hammer style knife, check the links below. I'm telling you, this thing is awesome. I used it on the last prime rib, and I cannot believe how good of a knife this really is. Let's get this turned around, and we're just gonna follow right in between that bone and start cutting down it and see what we got. Oh yeah, this is heaven. That is some serious, perfect medium rare. Just look at that pink. Yeah. Beautiful, got a nice little smoke ring even. Now I did cut with the bones on there still, but that's all right. It's real simple. I just got to cut like this. Just lop this single bone off. Get him out of the way. Now these bones are awesome and my kids are always asking for them. This is what they like the most. But I gotta go ahead and cut off a slice. Now look at all that juice on there too. Oh yeah, this is what we are talking about. Lay that right down like this. Lop off this little piece of fat, but I cut this a little bigger on the spinalis end on purpose because that's mine. The moment we've all been waiting for, but we got to get our au jus and get some of our horsey sauce up here on the cutting board. Gonna do just a little au jus first. This is so good. Tender. I can taste the smoky flavor. I can't hold off. I gotta have another one right away. Wow. I can certainly taste the multi-tool in the chop shop from PS Seasoning. I'll have a link for that in the description below also. Let's just get some more of this outside right here. Now I told you earlier that I learned from Russ this horsey sauce. It goes so good with prime rib. And check the link above and that'll send you right over to Russ's video. I think it's 5 years old and has over 2 million views. It's a classic and it's one of my first videos that I ever watched on YouTube about cooking meat. I can't help it, I didn't have the internet until I moved in town. We didn't have that stuff at the farm. We had dial-up. You can't watch streaming videos there. That piece is a little too big. I don't want to choke myself off, but we gotta have one more. A little more horsey sauce. And these are mine, so I can double dip them. Wow. All I can say is this was a great cook. Try it, and I was shooting for that real rare to medium rare cook on this one. I didn't want it to end up being a little bit medium. Get yourself some type of sear gun, either the GrillGun or the Searzall. It'll do this. It gives that great little crispiness on the outside, and the meat's only gonna carry over about 10 degrees, and you still have that incredible crispy crust on the outside. Hey boys, call up Russ and tell him that I finally did a cook as good as his. Thanks, Russ. I really appreciate it, brother.
Between 4 to 6 hours, but we're gonna bring it up very slowly. I'm going to have probe
You guys are still here?
started into the.
I told you to go check out Russ's video.
I'm going in with
Oh,
probes.
I forgot. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become a subscriber. Turn on that notification bell because you don't want to miss my next video. I know you don't, but I appreciate you watching it. I'll see you in the next video. Let's just look at her here quick. I think that's pretty good, huh? Now I gotta get some pictures of it. That smoky flavor is just so good, dude. Incredible. Oh yeah, and a prime rib. Yeah, we can hit the records on there. This one's even better.